Oh, there goes 40 minutes wasted. Just freaking, I wanted to get to a point. Basically, just go over the last 2012 till current videos. And I'm just rambling and raving and cursing for 40 freaking minutes. 40 minutes, it's just between that and the cats coming up here bugging me, and 40 minutes is gone. Damn. Doing this goes freaking time goes by freaking quick. I enjoy doing this. Well, yes, I'm still in the bathroom. You know what? Buy me a... I'll smack you again, cat. Buy me a house so I can make a studio or something like that. Till then, you know what? This is the best place in the house. I keep forgetting. I just deleted the video where I went over that. There's nowhere else I could really do it in complete privacy, or it's really not a mess from 3 crazy little kids running around. Because yesterday, shout out to Joe and Janelle, they gave my kids a few bags of toys. And yesterday was the first quiet afternoon I had in a long time. When they're not sleeping. Because they had so many toys, they were playing with this and that, and they're just behaving, and I loved it. But up here, there's nowhere else I can go because the kids are sleeping. Back bedroom, Joey's sleeping there. Middle bedroom, which attaches to the back. We gotta go through the middle to get to the rear bedroom. Upstairs neighbor, their porch where they go out to smoke is right outside the window. So, you know what? Anybody wants to hear this, they go watch the freaking video. I'm not gonna sit there with an audience over my shoulder that I don't really care for while I'm doing this. No. And downstairs, kitchen's a mess. Middle room is slightly a mess, and in the front room, the living room, we got no light in it. Pretty much whatever light is in the middle room, because there's no ceiling light, and the kids broke our lamp we had in there. That was enough light. They gotta break everything. The power cord got cut too far into the housing, and I can't take it apart, and I can't resolder it. I can't solder it together and repair it. So it's like, what's left? Right here. So this is where I'm going to be until I move, till we get out of here. Oh, what a freaking miserable day. Yeah, I'm just going to get to it and then ramble on. Just a quick, just overall, 2012 till now. Just go over it real quick. It's like, yeah, I moved back in with my mom and helped take care of her and my sister in the house and everything they were having trouble with because my mom was getting older. My sister has the mentality of a child. So even her cleaning was useless. I tell her to, the table would be covered and stuff, or the cats or dogs would get into the garbage, or just the floor would need to be swept, or just there'd be a mess somewhere. And I tell her to clean. What'd she do? Same thing she always does. She clean off the washer and dryer and wipe them down. Or the kitchen table if I told her to do something other than the kitchen table. That's how my sister would clean. Same 1, 2, 3 things over and over while everything else was a shithole. That's the reason why I moved back in there to help with them. And at the time my sister's stage 4 breast cancer was in remission. Then Mom got a MRSA infection from a can of cat food, which is probably her fault. It was probably freaking old and nasty, probably laying around, like all the other garbage she left laying around. I'm not saying that in a bad way, I'm just saying, you know what, they were living like scum. I can't blame my sister once she's gone, but she didn't know better. My mom was just lazy, just plain lazy. She's always been lazy. I mean, that's truth. That's the truth. It's not talking crap. That's not bashing anybody. That is simply the truth. It's something people don't really comprehend nowadays when you speak the truth. Everybody expects the worst, assumes the worst out of everybody. Or they're offended by everything. You can't even give an honest criticism to anybody without them getting all offended. Yeah, maybe she would have kept the place clean. I'm just saying, how it was probably dirty can of cat food. It's been sitting around for probably weeks. That or just because the house is dirty and, she didn't clean up the cot good enough or something like that. I'm almost certain that if she wasn't so freaking dirty and lazy, that wouldn't have happened. But she got a MRSA infection in August 2012. December 13th, 2012, she was diagnosed with Huntington's disease, which includes dementia. January 1st, 11 something at night, 2013, my sister's cancer came back, metastasized to her brain without us knowing, and she had tumors on the brain, which caused her to have a seizure. Called 911, went over to the emergency room, x-rays, etc., etc. That's when they told us it was back. So then, she went in the hospital, had brain surgery, get the tumors that they could removed. She went into physical rehab. In the meantime, I was taking care of the house, trying to clean it up as best I could, trying to get it adequate for my sister to come back home, while taking care of my mother too, because her marbles were going quick, and I mean they were going quick. And they were pretty much, they were going quick, but pretty much at that point they were gone. Not fully gone, but she was not all there upstairs. Yeah, I remember one time this summer, I forget to say this last video, any of the freaking current hell videos. I think I've twice, once for me and then once happened with me, once or twice more after my wife was moved in with us. before we were married. I remember I woke up, I looked out my window, there's my mom buck naked sitting in the middle of the middle of the yard. Just sitting there in the grass. Buck ass naked. Oh. It's one reason it pissed me lost the house, because it was behind other houses on like a side street. It was just like a corner of the town where it was just quiet, peaceful, private. And our house was probably the most private house in the freaking town. So there was nobody there to see her there or anything else. So I had to go out with a robe, wrap her in a robe, and take her back in the house. And my wife did the same thing the one or two times she found her. Ow, my butt. But, yeah, well, in the meantime, I was... Sound like a doorknob. Better not have been the front door. Because if it was, that means they'd be the freaking bitch landlord. I said in the video and said it all the time. They're not coming over here again. I'm not talking to them ever again until we're moving, or unless they give us 24-hour notice to do an inspection. It's the only two scenarios where I will talk to them ever again. But, you know, what I was doing personally, other than taking care of the house and family, was just working on bikes and riding motorcycles around with you know, some friends, some so-called friends. Which is a social group of local, is the specific area code. And everybody acted all friendly at first and everything, and that eventually went to shit. People just started getting too personal, backstab and talk crap. Just idiot, unnecessary drama. I'm not gonna get into that. But that went to pot really quick. I think they're still... My page is still up. I just don't know if they actually ride together or anything. I don't know. It's a colossal waste of time after so long. But, basically after I wasn't riding anymore for quite a while, it's like I didn't exist. A lot of the people I talked to, or friends with on Facebook and talked to and shit like that, were just dropping like flies, just disappearing. Either lay here or get the fuck out. But in the meantime, I was dating around a little bit. I think most of the girls I dated and I brought over to the house, I'm pretty sure they got freaked out about the condition of the house. I know my wife said she was. I told them, you know, I explained everything to them exactly what I did here. My mom's doing, I was helping out, and it was that bad. Then I met my wife. And she moved in with us. She got pregnant with Joey. And then 2 about 2 weeks before he was born, Angela passed away. And Joey was born. There he goes towards that freaking. Goes towards the camera again, the tripod. What? And then he was 2 months old, and I got lucky and got a job at the post office. June 2014. And then, I mean, I was making regular hours, but I mean, it was come and go, the amount of hours I was making. And then my mom goes to one doctor's appointment. And she had a low temperature, and she had a urinary tract infection. And they put her right into a nursing home. Right from that appointment, straight into a nursing home. So it's like all the household bills she made dumped right on my head. All the mess she made was still dumped on my head. Well, it's already on my head because I put it there, but, you know, because basically she went nursing home, the nursing home took her income. She was only getting Social Security. But still, I mean, it was like, they just took it, and then it's like, no warning, no nothing. It was just like, now all her bills are now yours, mine. Which was 2 months behind on an equity loan, and almost 2 years behind on the property taxes. Then my wife starts going through postpartum depression. Then one day she just wanted to up and leave me and our son. Up and leave, go back home. I ain't, no. I don't think so. She just kept telling me she just need a little bit of weed, I just need a little bit of weed to take the edge off. She never listened, even from then on, she just never listened to me. I'm the wiser one. I've been through a lot more. I know more. I just told her, go to a psychologist, go to your doctor, whatever. Get on some freaking happy pills. Get over it. Nope. Too high and mighty, too prideful. I'm not on no stupid medication. So, finally, when crap hit the fan, I said, screw it. And so, get out of here. Somehow, instead of meeting up with my nephew, I ended up meeting up with the Northern County right above us, drug detective. Somehow, the message went to his phone instead of my nephew's. My wife's doing, not listening to me. So instead of being able to pay off, catch the equity loan up and catch the property taxes up, I had to drop just shy of 2 G's, I think it was like $18.50 on a lawyer, so we don't go to jail. We didn't. In the end, we basically just got, was it like 2 non-grade misdemeanors? And 25, five grand, around, a little bit more than $5,000 in fines and court costs between us both, in total. And then another 1,300 and some, I think it is, in probation costs. So we figure 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, cost us about 8 grand because she didn't listen to me. And because all that money had to go that way instead of in the house, we lost the house. The bank took it because of a stupid equity loan. You're going to harass me, Kat? I'm going to harass you. So we had to move. We just up and moved. Just abandoned the house, abandoned everything else that was in it except the bare essentials. I mean, they gave us a deadline. Yeah, this is stupid. I forgot to say it in the last video too, I think. They give us a deadline. Be out by this date or pay like $2,600. Where they got that number from is up their ass. Which is ludicrous. Added $2,000 on for frickin' fees and all this crap. So we did what the paper said. We got the hell out before, like days before, the final day we were allowed to be there. So we didn't have time to get everything or nothing else really. And then of course the house sat vacant for at least another 6 months, at least, probably closer to a year, before anybody did anything. Actually, I think it just sat there until the sheriff's sale. That's when one of the neighbors down there, who owns most of the properties in the area, bought it and boarded it up. Well, I don't know who boarded it up now. I know he bought it. He bought it for like $1,250 or something like that from the sheriff's sale, but there's still a $10,000 equity loan lien on the house. So I don't know who did that. I don't know who boarded up, him or the bank. But it took a year or more for them to finally board it up. I mean, we could have stayed there for at least another 6 months. We probably could have got caught up and kept it, but that would have been a whole other battle because it was still in my mom's name, and getting the house transferred into my name, one, while she's in a nursing home and not in her right sound mind, would have been pretty much an impossible battle. Because then if the nursing home got word of it, they would have went after the house. And anything, I think I read like anything within like 2 or 3 years they could take. Just bullshit. So we ended up moving, everything was good. And then Joey climbed out of his bedroom window while my wife was sleeping when he was only 2. Ran around the landlord's backyard buck naked. Her daughter's boyfriend came home and found him. They all freaked out. He brought him over, acted like a real piece of crap to my wife. Lucky I wasn't there, I would have freaking hit him upside the head with a baseball bat. that started a whole slew of problems with that freaking witch. And she ended up freaking giving us I wouldn't say we didn't get evicted. We just basically got a certified letter asking us to leave within 60 days. Even the cops, the sheriffs on my route, they even told me I didn't have to leave, but it would be easier to do so, not deal with all that crap. So we left. I had to sell the only thing I had for myself, which was my motorcycle. Got lowballed, raped up the rear end. I didn't even get a frickin' reach around. Had to sell it just to pay to move, and so I could save Christmas for my family, because it was in November. The only time we would have had the money to move, other than if the bike sold, was the Christmas money and Christmas tips. Yeah, Perk even used my personalized license plate to ride it home so he doesn't get pulled over or anything. Never returned it. The reason I'm pissed at that is because you can't get duplicates of a personalized plates. You can't. And once it's already made, that's it. You can't get it again, ever. Pissed me off because it was Tombs, Tombs. It was my freaking license plate. Well, I'm pissed because I even messaged him on Facebook asking, because I was contemplating to see if I could buy the bike back come income tax time. And I'm just like, hey, how's my old bike treating you? That was months ago. I messaged him, nothing back. So I'm pretty sure I'm never getting my freaking license plate back. Probably because I still have some old original parts where like the original mufflers, rear hugger, I think another windscreen. So he was going to come up when he was coming up to get his other bike he left there when he rode mine home. And he was going to get those parts and give me my plate back. Well, I was already out Christmas shopping. No, I was not Christmas. I was out shopping for materials to fix all the damages done to the apartment. He messaged me and said he was on his way too late. I was already out and about. I was already busy. I told him that. I said, just leave the license plate in the doorway. I get home, guess what's not there? My license plate. It's like, really? You lowballed me out the wazoo that much and you can't even have enough courtesy. It's like you freaking stole that bike from me because you knew the situation I was in, and he freaking couldn't you return a license plate? That'll be ending quite soon. The battery's at the end. So then we move in here. We fixed up the old place. Move in here. Go to get our deposit back. We got it back with her being a witch as usual. And it was fine here for a while. Then this landlord started, made the old one look like a saint. Saint with horns, but still a saint. Basically started when I asked about possibly getting a dog, and her just criticized how we freaking parent and how we talk to our kids, which partially was right. We were stressed to hell and not realizing how bad we were acting and things we were saying, pretty much, or specifically. That's when it started. Then Joey broke a window. And that's when all hell started. That's when she started with she cares more about my kids than we do, and basically try to dictate how I am around my kids, how I raise my family, how I am around my family, how I raise my kids, how I talk to my kids, it's everything. I mean, she just, a non-political statement, she just went straight up snowflake on my ass. It's one thing I hate about Pete. That's one biggest thing I hate about being a nice guy, because I don't like drama. I don't like crap. I don't like dealing with crap. And I just, it's hard to be a nice guy, but I hate, I don't give shit to anybody unless they deserve it. Then if I'm gonna, I'm thinking about the situation thoroughly. Like, if I was to be a prick right back to her, where would that leave us? Well, she would probably try and kick us out, and we don't have the money. In the meantime, the only thing she could do, if she tried, would be because of Joey's actions, which you... Battery died. But yeah, the only thing she could try now is based on things Joey has done, which you cannot discriminate, do anything when it comes to mental disabilities. He has autism. They could try, but all they're going to do is put themselves in the frying pan. The second issue with her coming over here pissed drunk, stumbling and bumbling and fumbling, not even able to stand up and take pictures like she's doing, just want to talk. Taking pictures of the freaking damages Joey done, and just starting crap, me asking her to leave and refusing, and finally getting her out in here calling children's services anonymously, and the cops coming over and shit like that. It's like, just gotta get the hell out of here. But once we do, so I'm looking for a single home to rent, and then I'm gonna set something up for this. So then I'll be able to do this better. And by then I'll be all done with, well, practically all done talking about current events, or from at least 2012 on. I haven't gone over my childhood, or pretty much pre-2012, from childhood until then, and quite a while, probably a month at least. I'm just so busy. And then, doing this, I can't see how long it's been, how long the last one is. So I came up here, it was probably like 8 o'clock. First video was 40 minutes, I was just ranting and raving. I think the last video was probably another 40 minutes. So it's probably like, by the time I'm done, it's going to be like after 10 or 11 o'clock. And I'm already beat to hell, and I'm not going to be able to sit down and relax and do whatever I want to relax before bed. I'm still gonna, but I'm gonna be annoyed because it's gonna be already late. Ugh. That's that. The one thing with this is bothering me a bit. I'm not getting any views on any of these. Except for people I know. I'm not getting any more subscribers. Obviously, if nobody's watching. It's just like, is presentation really that important? Like, I'm talking like, you know, where I'm at, what's behind me, and it's like, I keep saying it, it's not about that with these videos. I mean, yeah, I'll get there, but when it comes to these specific videos talking about my life, or at least in, like, the past, I'm just being straight up, clean, no fancy shit, just humble, straight up, unedited, like I always been saying. It's like, nobody's been watching it. I mean, I don't know if I'm categorizing it wrong, you know, title's wrong, or I'm not getting any feedback. I can't ask any. I really can't ask any other popular YouTubers because, you know, I'm talking people with millions of subscribers who, you know, pretty much have done this so much and so long, they know, you know, exactly what they're doing and everything through and through. It's like, basically, you know, me asking for advice when I first started the post office. It's like, who are you going to ask? Obviously, the higher up, you know, somebody with years of experience. You know, you'd rather ask somebody with, say, 10 years of experience than, like, one or two. Same thing on here. I'm, you know, I'm not going to ask somebody with, like, say, 10,000 subscribers versus, like, 1 million or more. We have some big difference in number. But the problem with this is, my videos are so long. I don't see, for how busy they are, I don't think they're going to sit and watch my video for fucking an hour and a half. It's like, I'm here trying, they say, you know, yeah, I said in the last video, I deleted that. Everything you do when it comes to pretty much anything, people always say just you gotta be original, you gotta be yourself, you gotta be unique, you gotta do something different, etc., etc. And it's like, I don't watch all the freaking vloggers and stuff like that. I don't know what's common or what's been done before. I mean, as far as I've seen so far, I haven't seen anybody who has the balls to go over everything they possibly could in their life as much as I have in such a short period. With, I mean, my life, the videos I titled My Life, you know, basically growing up and everything so far into my teenage years and early 20s. I think I got up to like 21 or 22 years old so far. 7 videos, hour and a half long. That's what? 10, what's that, like 10 and a half hour long, 10 and a half hours of videos. 7 videos every hour and a half, so 7 1 hours, then 7 half hours. That'd be 3 and a half. Yeah. 10 and a half hours of videos and just in those first 7. It's like that many hours in such a short period of time. And it's like, and I'm getting no feedback or nothing. It bothers me. And I honestly, I would have fucking stopped. I would have said, screw this. If that's the typical luck I'm gonna have, where nobody's gonna watch it at all. None of the YouTube community. It's pretty much, as far as I know, it's only been people I know. It's like, that's not the reason I'm doing this. If I wanted the local, like, people I know to know, I would sit down and talk with them about it. You know? I'd love to become a freaking, I guess you could say, just basically a professional YouTuber. I mean, do I honestly expect ever to be making, like, say, Like some of those guys making like tens of thousands of dollars a month. That's like what, you know, how humble I am. That'd be like winning the lottery. Because, I mean, all those other guys, you see them, they got all this freaking high-end taste and everything else. And it's like, no. That's just not me. I just get a nice country home, nice size garage. I mean, the vehicles I like. Depends on the situation. I mean, I like all motorcycles. As long as they got 2 wheels, not 3. Never rode a dirt bike yet. I like quads. It's like out in the country I can get everything. I mean, jacked up truck, go junky truck, go mud in and stuff like that. I'd have fun doing that. I never did it before, but I always did that with cars. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, you can't really say all the redneck type of crap, but I mean, just everything. It's just easier to have everything and do everything when you live out in the country. You just, you know, street bikes, off-road bikes, quads, and, you know, trucks, cars. It's just, everything's always easier when you have, you know, open area, less neighbors, less problems, more private. I mean, everything you can think of doing is just easier when you're out away from, you know, out of town. I mean, me, I'd be freaking. I mean, I'd be just pretty much just like regular trucks, some recreational vehicles. Nice, just the normal freaking nice size country home. I mean, quite frankly, if I was making tens of thousands of dollars a month, I mean, the country home, the house would be worth like barely into the six figures. Like, no, it'd be, yeah, barely into the six figures. Like, it'd be worth maybe 100,000 some. Maybe, no, it'd probably be close to 2. In total, probably 3. Maybe 3 with the land included. But I mean, even that'd be like, I'm not into like just spending that much. It all depends. I'm just like that amount of money. I'd just be letting it build it in the bank, saving it up. But I mean, I'd have a blind, like that's one thing I'd love. I really hope this freaking takes off. You see people making videos blowing stuff up all the time, shooting guns, fireworks, just everything you do out in the country when you actually have the money to do stuff like that. That's what I'd be doing, except I wouldn't be doing one thing specifically. I'd be blowing shit up all the freaking time. I'd be shooting shit all the time. You know, I'd be freaking running stuff over. I'd be just doing all kind of crap. I wouldn't stick to one thing and run. I'd be freaking doing everything. I'd just be having a blast, and it would just happen to be being recorded. I would just love to do that. But, I mean, I'm not responsible. It's not up to me for me to be successful on YouTube. It's for people to freaking decide whether I'm entertaining or not. And that's actually one ray of hope I have. It's like, well, nobody's really watched it. No, it's nobody's watched it yet to have an opinion. For me to have an opinion, it's like, nobody's watched it, so it's not that it's bad or good. Just the jury's still out. Damn it. Honestly, if I ever won the lottery, like I'm talking enough to retire, which some people think that'd be like 100 billion or more. Mine have to be at least 20, realistically, at least 20 million after taxes. I'd be doing the same thing I just said I'd be doing if this became popular. If I was able to freaking, stop being or hang my satchel, my postal satchel up and do this for a living. I'd be just humble, just a nice country home, and people go crazy mostly on like the vehicles and shit like that. I'd have a few Trans Ams. Cars, that'd be it. My Grand Am, I'd have that completely redone just because that's the best car I've ever freaking had. I'd never get rid of that car. I'd have one truck. I'd have a shitload of motorcycles. Most of them would be, working on and stuff like that. But that'd be it. The amount of vehicles, money in vehicles, and recreational vehicles I'd have will probably amount to, some of these people go out and just buy like a BMW and or a Mercedes or a Lexus. Added my wife and her horses she loves, it'd probably end up being all that for the cost of like one Lamborghini or Ferrari, low-end Ferrari or something like that. It really wouldn't be much at all. I mean, what? I have no use for it. None at all. I don't like high-end stuff. I love quality shit. Don't get me wrong. But I want what so many people don't really comprehend or understand or really enjoy because they never, I don't know, it just seems a lot of people don't realize it or enjoy it or understand it. Just to have financial freedom. People think, oh, that's just, you don't have to worry about money. No, the way I look at it is to be able to actually 100% fully live your life freely however you want. Not have to go to work every day. I love my job, but it's still a job. I still have to go and earn money, and I still have to put in at least 40 hours a week of my life just to pay the bills, just to put food on the table, and keep a roof over my family's head. To be financially free, or I could choose not to do that, and I could choose to do anything I want, even do shit for not to make money. Just to be able to wake up, crawl out of bed, relax, no problems, no worries. Just go downstairs, put breakfast, eggs and bacon, get the bacon frying, just get something to drink out in the country. Go out on the front porch in a comfy chair and just sit on the front porch. Say it's springtime, not summer. It's springtime where it's like, mid-60s in the morning. No, I'm not talking early morning. I'm talking like, 7, 8 o'clock. More along the lines of 7. You just sit on the porch, country, birds singing, animals running around, and just sit there and just enjoy that peace. Every day, just enjoy. I had a taste of that working at third shift up at placement facility for juveniles. I'd get home at the family home. It was in the back there, so there was a lot of animals around, a lot of birds singing in the morning. I'd leave there 7:15. I'd get home about 8 o'clock. And I'd get out of my car, and in front of the house was just an open field, some trees, shit like that. There was no houses, no people right in front of my house for quite a while. And I would usually just get out of my car, shut it, and I was smoking at the time, cigarettes. And I'd just stand there with a cigarette, and I'd just literally just stand there and just enjoy it. Because the birds would be chirping, you wouldn't hear freaking traffic or cars or people or kids, nothing. You would hear nothing but nature. I mean, that doesn't sound like a tree humper or nothing like that. It was just so serene, calm, and soothing, and just relaxing. I mean, just to be able to do that every day in the morning, just to wake up correctly. Not to wake up in a bad way, just to wake up, like you said, start breakfast, get something to drink, go out and just relax. Start your day off smoothly, calmly, perfectly. Could I do that now? No. No. That was how I ended my day, because I was working third shift. I'm going to say I don't see that happening unless I had financial freedom. Just not have to get up and go to work. Just be able to, I mean, honestly, I would probably work more and work harder if I was financially free. I was doing whatever I wanted. Working on one, it'd be working on motorcycles. Everything from working on it, derusting, freaking painting, polishing, just everything you think of with motorcycles. I'd have a freaking cot. I'd have a spare bed in my garage because I'd be out there so much working on bikes, rebuilding them, and just everything. I'd be out there so much, I'd be sleeping out in the garage. I mean, I'd be just doing, and then while I'd be doing that, I'd be freaking, I wouldn't be completely unemployed. I mean, like I said, financially free. I mean, I'd be going crazy with YouTube videos. I'd be making freaking, recording, doing all that, and it's like I said, if you got money, you don't enjoy, you don't take it, if you don't take a step back and really look at the whole picture and just relax and really understand how good you have it, then that's fucked up. Stay out there, Tank. But yeah, one final note I'll make on this video, I meant to say. Ticks me off every time I think of it when I do it on my route. Everybody daydreams about winning the lottery, hitting it big. And mostly it's when it's a really big amount, like 150 million or more, like really amount. And one thing I've always wanted, like, one thing I always wanted to do, like you see videos and stuff, like people like, like giving money to the homeless, or just like buying somebody a meal, or say cops helping out one homeless guy. Just stuff like that. And I was just thinking, if I won the lottery, I'd be going around. I'd love to travel the country just on a motorcycle. I'd be doing stuff like that for people everywhere anonymously. Just helping out just random people in need. People like me right now. I mean, I don't mean, just giving a homeless guy some new clothes and a fresh shave. I mean, really, really help him out. But one thing I thought, and anybody tries to steal this idea, I'm gonna come and kick your ass and steal all your money. One idea I had I've had this idea for probably at least 10 years. So I just turned 36 on Friday. It's now Monday. Probably at least 10 years I've had this idea. It's one town I lived in, Scranton, Pennsylvania. They got a lot of old warehouses that nobody uses anymore. And one thing I was thinking I'd like to do, like they always talk about helping the homeless and stuff like that, and then I got thinking about how like all the manufacturing jobs are getting put over to China and out of the country and everything for cheaper labor. I'd say 2 birds with 1 stone. If I won enough to where I'd be financially free for the rest of my life, but also be able to do something else really big, really expensive too, and not dip into my personal fund to basically stay financially free for my life. Take one of those old warehouses, just generally, I'll just say it real quick. Take one of those old warehouses, fix it up, and make it into a manufacturing company. I don't know what. I'd say something like, clothes or something. Just, I don't know. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna go full detail. Fix up one of the warehouses, start manufacturing something this freaking country, or at least the immediate area, needs, like Scranton, Pennsylvania. Something that area, basically this area, could use. More than just the jobs. Get that all set up. And then within walking distance or on the bus route to there, somewhere, get, some kind of apartment complex and fix that up. Basically, one thing I thought of is, because there's a lot of old abandoned schools around here, fix up, headache. Fix up an old school, make it into a big apartment building. This cat never leaves me the hell alone. Probably wants something. Definitely wants something. Kids probably spilled their water dish again. But, make a manufacturing company. and then fix up an old school, make it into an apartment complex. Here's where it gets good, at least to me, because I've been thinking about this for probably at least 10 years. Start around just the immediate local area, and then branch out. And for your employees, what type of employees would I get? Homeless. Simple as that. Let's start out with the homeless people. I'm talking about people who had it so bad where they got made homeless. Like, they just bad luck, whatever. But sorry, I would not. I mean, you know what? No, I would stay away from those who put themselves there through drugs or alcohol. If you're on the street because you were an alcoholic and all you did was spend all your money on booze or drugs, no. I mean, it all depends on the situation and the person, but I would steer clear of those kind of people. I'm talking just homeless people who just had bad luck, or like living in a car and just really haven't been able to find work. You can see videos about people freaking just, the Walmart hotel or something like that it's called. People just parking and sleeping in their car overnight at Walmart, in the Walmart parking lot, like RVs in their car and stuff like that. Those type of people. Maybe I should just cut this video in two. I went over two different topics on this. But, take all those kind of people, give them employment first. Put them into the new apartment complex. Basically put a roof over their head and, furnished. Not crazy, just, beds, furniture, regular furniture. Basically put a roof over their head and give them a job. It's not that simple, but that's what I would do. Not so simple part would be basically first tell them, I'm giving you this opportunity now to teach you not to ruin it, waste it, or throw it away with even a mistake. Your rent is going to be automatically deducted from your pay, because they're going to be living in my place and working in my place. I mean, whatever reason they had to get homeless other than drugs and alcohol, tell me, what, this is how it's going to be, so you could get your act together, get a second, another chance. Not have the rent come out automatically, because just to give you a chance to get your things together, get your life together, get your life set back on track for whatever reason it came off track for, and I'm not a businessman. I don't know how viable this would be or how it would work. I don't know what kind of profits the owners, CEOs, and all that crap, how much they take. Whether it's more than their employees or less, or, percentage, I don't know, none of that. But as far as my common sense goes, what I would do as far as the manufacturing company goes, No, I already daydreamed about. Sorry, I'm just ripping out old skin from a burn. I've already daydreamed about this so many freaking times. Like I was already, well, thinking about like not telling them how much they'd make, and then like basically at the start of it going up in front of all of them and explain everything. Basically, I would take no profit from it, any of it, none of it. No profit. The money from the rent for them living in the apartment complex, I'd put that in an account to take care of the apartment complex. Anything breaks, you know, so it wouldn't end up being like a slum. It would just keep pumping that blood right back into the machine instead of turning into a freaking a greedy prick and putting it back in my greedy pocket. No. And as far as the company went, this is why I say I would need to win enough to where I would already be financially free. Where all this would basically be me giving back to society. Where my money's over here, my personal money, where I could take care of my family and everything else, where this other money is, taking care of all this I'm talking about. So I don't need to make any profit because I already got enough to handle my life, take care of things. That's how this would be possible. Or that's when. But as far as the manufacturing or the company goes, no profits. I would take no profit. And neither would anybody else. It'd all be funded by me. Not no freaking backers, nobody owning a percentage of the company or anything. No profit, all the money goes back into the company. Which, I mean, like I said, I'm not a businessman. I don't know how greedy or how much money these owners, CEOs, presidents, vice president, all these people, the whole Christmas tree of freaking leaders go, how much they take and how much it costs the company. I mean, I assume it costs a lot, but basically if I don't let anybody who's running the place take a big chunk, that would mean I'd be able to pay my employees a crap load more than the average wage. Because I mean, if I'm not taking any money out of the company or from the company in profits or anything, and I can put all that money back in, I mean, if I'm not taking any and anybody immediately under me isn't, then I could pay the employees that much more to make their life that much better. And they started out being homeless on the street. Like I said, I don't know how. I mean, like let's just. One example, like I said, I don't know crap about business or anything else, but I'm just talking about him as the businessman. Not as the president, because I already know these freaking people nowadays are so divided. It drives me nuts. Me, I'm on the sidelines. I don't give a shit about anything as far as this goes. It's politics. Talking about Trump. He's a billionaire, right? Isn't he? Yeah. Billionaire with a B. How much money he makes and how much profits he makes. Imagine, just imagine, like I said, I'm not a businessman. I don't know how this all works. But I'm just common sense and thinking on top of my head with this. Just imagine if he stopped taking a profit on even just half of his companies, and anybody running them, he stops letting them get paid ridiculous amounts, and instead of paying the bottom of the barrel, his regular 9 to 5 employees, starting giving them more money instead of himself or the top of the food chain. I'm just thinking, just imagine how much more those people will be getting paid. I'm assuming a lot more. Because, like, look at Walmart. How much they're making, how much the freaking all the leaders and heads of that company are making. And then the freaking employees are making, like, crap. It's like, just imagine if if they all just stopped being so effing greedy and just put the money right back into the machine. More money in the machine, more money into your employees. I mean, that's why I can't comprehend it, because I'm not greedy. I couldn't live in that lavishly in luxury. I can't comprehend it. I can't. I'm too humble. Like I said, I'd rather just sit on my freaking front porch in the morning with a cup of coffee, tea, soda, water, whatever, and just sit there and enjoy just peace and quiet, relaxing, birds chirping, squirrels running around, animals running around. Just, I'd love that more than, say, being on some freaking 6-figure yacht in the middle of the ocean. You know, wiping my ass with $100 bills. That's just not me. I can't comprehend why anybody does it. It's like there's a lot more to life than that. It's not about blowing your money, wiping your ass with it. It's about living life and the experiences you get from it. Not fucking your stupid cars and how many freaking houses you own, and how big they are, and how much your bank account is. Honestly, I think financial freedom should be like the freaking ceiling. Everything above that is just a waste. People showing off their freaking 6-figure cars, 7-figure cars. It's like, dude, yeah, 7-figure cars. One of those that freaking I can't comprehend how much that freaking crap would help me and my family out. Just one of those cars, that amount of money, like if it was just given to me. I can't comprehend it. So I mean, just imagine just that kind of money being pumped right back into right back into the company and right to your regular 9 to 5 employees. I mean, like I said, I'm not a businessman. I don't know how all that shit works, but obviously all these fucking giant corporations are making the most money and the most profit than. I mean, obviously, you know, the higher you go up the ladder, the more they're getting, the more profits they're getting, and the greedier they are. I'm assuming once you get to the top of the ladder, they're making the most, even if they're working hard or whether they're working or not. I'm assuming some of these companies, they get to the top and they're just like, okay, I'm just going to pay somebody else to do my job, and I'm just going to kick back and take all the money. I don't know, but it sounds like it to me. But, you know, really pissed me off. And that's just how I am. That's who I am. That's what I would do. You know, pisses me off about my route every day. Like I said, I've been thinking like this for that specific idea for probably at least 10 years. And what's on my route? If anybody anytime, whether people start watching us or not, 636 Foot Ave, Duryea, Pennsylvania 18642. Look on Google Maps. Since I started the route and from to today, that address is an old schoolhouse made into apartment buildings. Right next door, it's been closed since I started the route, so I don't know their address. Right next door is an old abandoned warehouse, manufacturing company facility. It's an old warehouse, whatever the hell I don't know what the hell they did there. It's like that's my life. That's my luck. That's what happens to me. And here's my dream of being selfless and helping people out if I ever had the financial ability to do so. Where I could be that selfless and if I'm already taken care of on the side. Here's exactly right next to each other, exactly what I just described. And I literally started laughing at my own freaking misfortune when I freaking first realized that. Because it took me a little while to realize it, because I was just delivering mail, and it took me a little ways to realize it. That here's a freaking schoolhouse apartment complex where, like I said, I could put the homeless people, give them place of their own, place to live and start up again, and then literally, I don't even think even 50 yards away from the front door to the warehouse is a warehouse right next door, a manufacturing company, abandoned manufacturing company. Or if I had the money, I could just fucking get that shit up and running again. Buy the apartment complex. Boom. No need to take a bus. No need to even get a car. You just walk right next door to work. It's like, how many people have a fucked up dream like that? Like a selfless dream like that. And then they get to see, there it is. It's right there. But guess what? You will never, ever win the fucking lottery to be able to do that, because that's the only way I would be able to. Like I said, I would have to be that selfless. I would have to already be financial. Brandon coffee. But to be able to do that the way I just said, I'd have to already be financially free. I'd have to already have enough money of my own on the side where I can do that, take absolutely no profit, put all that money right back into the company to make the company better, to make the company bigger, to make better quality products, more products, and first of all, pay my employees more so they have a better life from they starting out on the street. It's like, that's my luck. Just to see it there, right in front of me every single fucking day. And nothing. It's like, I'm going to see it and nothing. That's going to be it. Right there. It's like, hey, here's the closest you'll ever get to, your selfless dream. I call it my selfless dream because I'd be doing it for others. I mean, what the hell would I get out of that? I mean, just, the joy of helping people out, but I mean, I wouldn't get any profit from it. I'd be making friends and lifelong friends and making, people's lives better, shit like that. But I mean, as far as people nowadays always, expect something or want something out of it. No. But it's like, I will never get enough money where I'm financially free, and then have enough money to do that as well. 'Cause obviously, I'm not gonna freaking do that and not, be able to. And it's the way I want to do it. I can't do it if I take any money out of it. So I'd have to already be financially free. Because like I said, the only way I want to do that, like I said, this is just a daydream. Because honestly, seeing those two buildings right next to each other, that's the closest I'm ever going to come. Even that, it's a freaking miracle just to freaking come across that. It really is. Like I said, 600 block of Foot Ave in Duryea, Pennsylvania. You're more than welcome to Google Maps and look and see. In the street view, see the apartment, and then right next door, see the warehouse. That's the closest I'm ever going to come. I mean, is it at all possible to do something like that without being financially free first? Yeah, but then I wouldn't be able to do it the way I just said I wanted to. Take no profits, not let a freaking anybody on the higher level of the ladder fill their pockets either, and paying the regular employees that much more. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was doing that, to make a living on my own. That's why it sucks. I actually think I might edit this part out, make it its own video, even though this is one long, big freaking spiel. I always wanted to freaking put that out there. I think I only ever told my wife that before. I don't think I've ever told anybody that ever. I don't think I've ever told anybody that.